Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. It's 6:30 in the morning AM in the UK. It's a beautiful day. Sun is coming through. It looks like it's going to be an absolute belter. Getting your day started really quickly. But before I do, I got to do this. Jawbreakers Grand Bazaar is in its last 2 hours before it finishes. This is Richard Seemayer, who came on to the show the other day. I did a podcast with him. It's in the video section. We spoke for nearly 4 hours. Had an awesome time. Awesome discussion going on. This is the perfect opportunity if you want to jump into the Jawbreakers franchise, because this is the origin story of the group itself, where a bazaar, not spelt bizarre, that's the play on the word, the Grand Bazaar, but a bazaar rises up almost from the depths of hell and grants you your desires, but obviously at a price. So it's a very interesting way that they all came together. Last 2 hours of the campaign, 3,153 backers. It's up to $158,000 nearly. So I had asked that if you can, and I know things are really tight at the moment, if you can, please support this project in its final hours. Look at it. Look at that artwork. This is beautiful stuff, people. This is beautiful stuff. There it comes, rising up, almost from the depths of hell. So if you can, please go to Indiegogo, Jawbreakers Grand Bazaar graphic novel, and support it in its last moments. Because by the time this video goes live, it's probably in its last hour. I'll see you on the other side. Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Look, if I'm sounding a little bit wheezy, it's not my allergies. I streamed for 5 hours nearly yesterday. And when I finished, which was after 8 p.m, maybe even after 9 p.m, UK time, I was hungry and I needed something to eat. So I went and got something to eat. But when I finished, I was really tired, and I did the stupidest of stupid things that you should never do when you've just eaten, and that's go to sleep. So I lay down thinking that I'm going to get up and I'm going to get back to work. No, I fall asleep. I get acid reflux all night. All night. So my throat's just like burnt to buggery inside at the moment. So I got this like wheeze going on because of it, so I do apologise. but because I fell asleep all of Saturday, I feel like today is Sunday, but today is not. Today is Monday and it's a weekday. But let's get into this, because when I woke up, this tweet just made me laugh. Because if there's a company that is hypocritical above all else, it's Disney. They don't stand for jack other than trying to make money. How can we try and get money out of people? Now, to some degree, that's fine. I ain't got a problem with capitalism. I ain't got a problem with people trying to make an honest buck. But the way that they go about it is in a very manipulative way. They try and play every card that they can, and it often makes them look like complete hypocrites, as we're going to see in a moment. And you get messes like with the Star Wars franchise, the recent sequel trilogy, where it was just a complete mess because they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't plan it. They winged it. And then they ended up having to try and course correct and oh, we need to cater to this demographic and that demographic and the other demographic. And the problem when you do that is, when you try and play that game, when you have to censor things because other countries don't like it, you're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. So they put up this tweet. We stand against racism. We stand for inclusion. We stand with our fellow black employees, storytellers, creators, and the entire black community. We must unite and speak out. Okay, that would be a wonderful message. If you meant it. Problem is, though, you don't mean a word of this. Come on, Az. That's a bit harsh. Just because they're a massive corporation that has completely fluffed the Star Wars franchise doesn't mean that they don't have the courage of their own conviction. Doesn't mean that they don't believe these words that they're saying here. Okay then, let's have a look at some proof then, shall we? Let's look at this one. This is the posters for The Force Awakens. Excuse me. On the left-hand side, we have the Western poster. And you'll see that we have Rey, front and foremost. We have Kylo, just stuck at the back there. We have Finn, very prominently displayed with his lightsaber. Well, Luke's lightsaber. Well, Anakin's lightsaber. Who knows anymore? And then we have all the others, you see. You know, Han, Leia, Chewie. Now let's have a look at the Chinese poster. China, that has, let's just say, a bit of a racism problem when it comes to black people. And then we suddenly notice we got Kylo, slightly different pose, but just as prominent. Rey, same pose. Han and Leia are bigger and moved up. BB-8 is much bigger. Chewbacca has been removed for some reason. Maybe they're also Wookieist as well. And of course, Finn. Oh, Finn? Finn, where are you, Finn? Oh, Finn has been shrunk down and stuck there at the bottom. Because Disney are pandering to the Chinese market because they know they are racist. So they have shrunk down the black actor and popped him down here. Now, the next thing that, well, down here in this case, nice and small, away from it all. Now, the next thing that I'm going to say, excuse me, this is the bloody acid reflux, is speculation, okay? This is speculation, but I am going to go here. In the first film, The Force Awakens, I personally, and do feel free to disagree if you don't think so, but I personally thought that the way that they were going with the characters was there was going to be a developing romance between Finn and Rey. You could see that Finn was attracted to Rey immediately. Rey was very standoffish. Fine, she's on Jakku doing her thing, cleaning her parts. Metal parts, you perverts. And so she's a little bit more independent. So when a guy's just like, come here, do this, she's like, get out of here. But they looked like a budding, something was developing between them. And I don't think it was just a friendship. I think it was meant to be a romance. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but China didn't really like Star Wars. For some reason, China don't gravitate towards this franchise. And there is, as we saw from the Last Jedi, fucking hell, what a sack of garbage that film was. As we saw from The Last Jedi onwards, the romance was suddenly shifted from Rey and Finn, potentially, very specifically, to a flirtation between Rey and Kylo. Rey decided that she was into a mass murderer of billions of people. She was into dudes that blow up planets and murder billions. Because he got abs. He got abs. And he Skype force called her. And they touched hands. And then Reylos lost their shit. And wrote a bunch of terrible crazy Lego. Don't even want to go there right now. It's 6:30 in the morning. So they went very much for the white girl with the white guy. And then in The Rise of Skywalker, which I haven't seen, nor do I ever intend to see, I do believe that they kissed. I believe that Kylo was like, hey, I've decided not to be a bad guy anymore, even though I killed my dad, killed billions of people, but hey, I'm just going to go and shrug at the Knights of Ren, like Han Solo did in Return of the Jedi, for some reason. And then, on my deathbed, I will kiss Rey. It's sick. But they took the romance completely away from Finn, the black character. Let's jump to the next part. This is a same-sex kiss between two characters, two ladies in The Rise of Skywalker. I didn't see this film, but I believe this is not particularly in the foreground. It's sort of like you blink and you miss it almost, but you see it. So it's two female characters having an intimate moment because they, I don't know, destroyed the Empire and the Death Star again for the 50th time. However, in China and Dubai and other Middle Eastern countries, Disney removed it. Removed it from the film. But Disney, you stand for inclusion. You stand against racism. So why are you shrinking your black characters? Why are you censoring your lesbians? If you stand for inclusion and against racism, it's easy. Because you're a hypocrite. You are full of shit. The hypocrisy drips from you. You don't believe in you standing up against racism. You don't stand for inclusion. You stand for how much money can we make in this country and what compromises must we do to allow ourselves to get in at the lowest level so we can get as many people into the theatre as possible to line our pockets. Disney, you're full of shit. Absolutely full of shit. Ladies and gents, please fund Jawbreaker's Grand Bazaar in its last moments. Is it into the last hour yet? Not quite. I'm going to edit and get this up as soon as I can. If you do have a few pennies, please go support. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.